Good morning. I'm Alex Hernandez, and I would like to thank you for attending today's Veterans Day Assembly. Would you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of the National Anthem by the Columbia River High School Band under the direction of Dave Keki-Chartre. We begin today with a performance by the River Band of Amber Waves of Grain by James Curnow. This symphonic rhapsody utilizes many contrasting moods, styles, tempos, and dynamics to capture the composer's view of America based on his many conducting trips that have taken him from sea to shining sea. Motifs taken from America the Beautiful, an original theme, have also been woven to create a set of descriptive variations that reflect these many contrasting moods. The band will be led today by student teacher Ryan Williamson. theme for our assembly today is service above self, service to our nation, service to our community, and service to our school. Service can be measured in a variety of different ways. At a time when so many in our community are hurting, out of work, and looking through an increasingly small pool of jobs, actions that enrich the lives of others carry great meaning. Simple acts of community service help to lift others up and improve the lives of everyone around us. Audrey Burnham would like to share some further thoughts on this topic.
World War I, known at the time as the Great War, officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, in the Palace of Versailles outside the town of Versailles, France. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice, or temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany, went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the war to end all wars. This ceasefire did end the Great War, but unfortunately war is not a thing of the past. The members of our armed forces have fought in several conflicts since to protect and to serve our country, and many of them have died in this service. We celebrate and honor their memory on this day every year. On this Veterans Day, there is one word that I want all of you to deeply consider, and that word is service. This is a word that every soldier, sailor, airman, marine, and Coast Guardsman embodies on a daily basis. They defend the seas, patrol the air, secure our shores, and fight on the front lines for each of your personal freedoms and liberties. It is their selflessness and sacrifice that keeps our country strong in a world full of struggle and strife. On this Veterans Day week, I call out to all of you, what can you do to serve? Not all of us can wear a uniform, but all of us can make a difference. You don't have to be an IB fulfilling CAS requirements or an NHS member completing your 10 hours of work per semester. You can simply challenge yourself to commit to helping the environment or aiding those in need, just as our veterans committed themselves to the hard work of peace. I think it is time that we as a school can strive for a stronger and newer spirit of service. I know we can do it. We are a fabulous school with brilliant students and remarkable staff. 95 years ago, guns were set down and trenches were emptied as World War I came to a close. And yesterday, we were not missing school as a celebration of this victory. We were missing school in order to celebrate the veterans who made that victory possible, and the men and women who are fighting today so that you and I may not have to. To them, service denotes a moral imperative to help both their country and the world. What does it mean to you? So on this Veterans Day weekend, I implore everyone here to do two things. 1, make a difference. Put yourself out there and do what you can to serve. And secondly, it's never too late to say thank you to our veterans, both alive and dead, and those who are still willing to serve today. We honor your service and are forever grateful. Thank you.
Success, we nobleness, and
members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Coast Guard, and Merchant Marines give tirelessly of themselves in the service of protecting the American way of life. To honor the members of our armed services and the sacrifices they make for us, we would like to share with you a short video.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Those officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The timing of this holiday is quite deliberate in terms of historical fact. But somehow it always seems quite fitting to me that this day comes deep in autumn when the colors are muted and the days seem to invite contemplation. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise, but most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
The Columbia River High School Band will now perform Patriotic Salute, a medley of patriotic songs from our nation's history. The selection will be directed by drum major Aubrey Burnham. Our thanks are offered today to Mrs. Blackwell and the members of her video production class for taping today's assembly. Thanks also to Mr. Odepal for his support and guidance in putting this video together. As we conclude this assembly today, we challenge you to look for ways to give back to your community. Whether volunteering at the food bank or helping out with a local school group, even small tasks can make a big difference. That concludes today's assembly. Have a great rest of your day.